Hey everybody, welcome to another Star Wars review. Today I have a special video to show you, and this is a collection update. Now the last video of my collection I put up a little over a year ago, and since then my collection has grown, so I thought I'd update my collection just to give you guys a look. Alright, so starting back here, I guess I'm going to show you these shelves. I do own two of these, so I'll show you this side and then the other side. Starting at the top, you do have the 2010 AT-AT, very cool vehicle. You do have a Stormtrooper piggy bank as well as a giant Yoda Pez dispenser. If I move my door, you can see, get a better look at. Very cool. I picked them up at a flea market. Starting with episode 1, see all my episode 1 figures. And the way I organize my figures on these shelves, the left side is usually all the good guys, the rebels and stuff, and then the bad guys, all the separatist stuff. So you have a good amount of regular battle droids, a few droidicas, various pod racers, a couple bounty hunters, some Namodians. Here you have a lot of Naboo soldiers and pilots and guards, the few Gungans in the back. And then more towards the front you do have various Jedi. So yeah. Below that we have my episode 2 collection, which isn't as big. See? Towards the back you do have a bunch of Royal Senate Guards. You have some not separatists, a couple senators, various Jedi. See some younglings. Here you have several Jango Fetts. Here you have a couple separatists. And there's my other portion of my droid army. See? Below that, we have my episode 3 shelf, which, again, same setup. Do have some Wookiees and some senators there in the back. Moving forward, it's mostly Jedi. Excuse me. See, some of the newer ones, like this Aayla Secura, which I absolutely love, from the vintage collection. See, a couple other Jedi. On this side, you do have a few droidicas. Not too many droids in this episode, but I do have a couple. See the new vintage Grievous. A bunch of separatists. So you see Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. Okay, now next to my shelf here, in the middle, I do have a couple vehicles. In this cube, this doesn't have any vehicles, but this has my V-19 bomber, or vehicle, I'm not sure what to call it. Below that is my TIE bomber, and right next to it is my Darth Vader TIE fighter. Moving from the middle shelf, we start up top here again. You have my AT-TE vehicle, as well as a plush Yoda top that was given to me as a gift. And if you look closely, I have two BARC speeders inside there under the thing. Now we go on to episode 4. Here you have a bunch of Tantive 4 Rebel Fleet Troopers. Those Captain Antilles, various rebels, including a few rebel pilots, bunch of Obi-Wans and Hans. See? Moving to the side, you do have a Dewback with a Sand Trooper riding him. You have a WED Treadwell droid, as well as a few Tusken Raiders. And here you move on to a bunch of Cantina aliens and Imperials, like TIE fighter pilots. See Boba Fett, Tarkin, Vader. See. Below that, we have my smallest portion of my collection, which is ironic because this is my favorite episode. This is Empire Strikes Back. I think partly the reason why I don't own that many is that they're just so gosh darn expensive. Like the vintage Hoth Echo Base Trooper. But yeah, you do have a bunch of figures. Here I have my Luke and Jedi training and his Dagobah landing. Yoda in the middle. some Cloud City figures. In the back you have all my bounty hunters next to my Han torture rack. So you have all 6 of them. Some Bespin wing guards and a few Ugnaughts. And below that I have my final episode, which is Return of the Jedi. You do have the 2010 Jabba's Palace setup. Han and Carbonite, C-3PO with Salacious Crumb, bunch of Rebel pilots and Endor troopers. Towards the front, you do have several Lukes, you got Leia's, you got Han, and you do have my Ewoks. And moving to the side of that, you do have a bunch of Skiff guards, new and old, such as Barada and Jaquil, and then you have Kithaba and Weequay. Have Hermie Odal. I do have Umpus Day, but I really want to get Akrev. He's just really expensive at the moment, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to get him. He's another expensive figure, the Emperor's Royal Guard. I know he's very pricey. All of that. And then below that, I do have my clone shelf. If you just bear with me a moment. Yeah, aside from Obi-Wan and Prototype Boba Fett, these are all troopers or clones of some kind. Now you're probably asking why I have them all here, and the real main reason is, since they're white, I don't have curtains in my room yet, so I don't want them to yellow. So this is the darkest part of my room. But you can see I have various troopers from across the saga. I think this portion of my collection has grown probably the most, with the exception of my Astromech collection. A quick run through again. So yeah, next to that, we do have my windowsill, and we have a rather pathetic excuse for a expanded universe shelf. I don't own too many figures, but I do want to expand it. Funny trivia about this is actually a cinema scene that from episode 1 where you had Jar Jar, Anakin, and Sebulba. What I actually did was I put all the Pod Racer pilot flags, which looks pretty good. This on the back I put inside so that way light wouldn't get in there too much, so it can preserve my figures. So you have Animated Debut Boba Fett, Bastilla Shan, Nama Noor, they're from the Old Republic. My Concept Chewie, Battle Damage Darth Vader, he's probably one of my favorites, my entire collection. And you do have that comic 2-pack of Tantive 4 Trooper and Darth Vader and the interrogation droid. On this side of my shelf, my other windowsill, sorry, do have, it's not really a Darth Vader tribute shelf, it's more like an Empire shelf. I do own 2 Lego TIE Fighters, which you see inside. I don't really collect Lego because they're really expensive, but I picked up these 2 for $25 each, sorry, so I couldn't pass up that deal. I have a titanium TIE Fighter in gold, which is actually pretty expensive looking at it. I've just had that since I was a kid. Darth Vader cookie jar, the Darth Vader clock that you've seen that lights up, some Lego figures, a plush Darth Vader, and just a Darth Vader figure. Here's my TIE Fighter. Okay, next I'm going to show you these shelves. These shelves are on the sides of my bed, so I'll be giving you a look at. You have Luke's T-16 Skyhopper at the top. You have an AT-AP below that. Below this, you have a V-Wing fighter. Then you have Luke's Land Speeder and Anakin's Speeder. You do have an AAT, or an ATT. Clone Wars Swamp Speeder. You see, and Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. Back up. Okay. Now, above my bed, you do have my AAT, which I got for my birthday, as well as a Vulture Droid up top. Next to that, you do have two B-Wings, and to the side of that, you have a Y-Wing, as well as Anakin's pod racer in the back. See? Let me just move the camera. Okay, I moved to the other side of my bed. There you can see a better look at Anakin's pod racer. On the side here you have two vintage ATSTs with a couple ATST Kmart exclusive drivers, as well as the Toys R Us exclusive Scout Trooper with speeder bike pack. Yeah. Below that you have another ATT, as well as Kazoo and Jar Jar Binks, which I just did a review on. If you want to check that out, you can. Below that, I have Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator, as well as his Sith Speeder. Below that, we have, as I said earlier, probably the biggest collection growth. Some of the newest additions are the R2-D2 with the cargo net on Endor, as well as R4-P17 and R4-G9, probably the newest. Below that, we have my Nexu, forgot this creature's name, and a rather old Jabba the Hutt. I had this since I was 4 years old, from the Power of the Force. And below that we have a Hailfire droid, which I know these are very pricey. Check out him. And finally a Snail droid. Let me move back up. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this collection update. I would try to do one once in a while, but no guarantees. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this collection view. I'll be making more videos soon, so see you on my next video.